On 17 through 19, we're looking at density again. It's the same type of density as we had in number 16, where we're looking at the weight or mass per volume of a solid. We are told that we're looking at two different types of wood logs that are both approximately in the shape of a cylinder, and so that's what we're going to be using for these three problems. So we need to know the weight and the volume of these two cylindrical logs. So number 17, it asks us for the density of the aspen one first, and we want to round our answers to the nearest whole number. Remember, it's the division of the weight per volume that we're going to round. So before we can do that, we know the weight, so we know what to put in the numerator, but we need to know the volume to know what to put in the denominator. So since we're dealing with cylinders, we're using the volume formula of pi r squared h, base area times height. For the aspen, I'm given the diameter, and so we know we need to cut that in half, so we get 0.75 for the radius, just like we did in number 16. And we're given the height to be 3. So we have pi times the 0.75 squared times the 3. Now I'm not going to round this answer yet. I'm going to get it in terms of pi by doing 0.75 squared times 3. So in terms of pi, we have 1.6875 pi, and since these are in feet, this would be cubic feet. So now I can find the density by dividing the weight by the volume. So my weight of the aspen is 137.8, and I'm dividing by 1.6875 pi. The weight is in pounds, the volume is in cubic feet. So my density will be pounds per cubic foot. Now remember from number 16, when I put this in the calculator, I'm going to put 137.8 divided by, and I'm going to put the denominator in parentheses, 1.6875 pi, close my parentheses. So my calculator knows to divide by the product of those two numbers. So we're rounding to the nearest whole number, so that 9 makes the 5 become a 6. So our density would be 26 pounds per cubic foot. Don't forget your units there. So your weight per volume unit. Number 18, we're going to do the same thing, but we're finding the density of the juniper, so where the weight is more at 549.8. The diameter is 2, which means my radius is 1, and my height for this log is 5 feet. So first we're going to find our volume in terms of pi, putting the 1 in for the radius and the 5 in for the height. So this one's pretty easy. 1 squared is 1. 1 times 5 is 5. So 5 pi is my volume in cubic feet for the juniper. So to find the density, I'm going to take my weight of the juniper, 549.8 pounds, and divide it by the volume in terms of pi of 5 pi cubic feet. So again, when I do that division, I'm going to do 549.8 divided by, in parentheses, 5 pi. Otherwise, remember, your calculator will divide by 5 and then multiply by pi, and that's not what you want. Since we're rounding to the nearest whole number, it's going to remain 35. So our units are pounds per cubic foot again. So on number 19, which one is more dense? The one that has more density. So the juniper is more dense at 35 pounds per cubic foot than the aspen at 26 pounds per cubic foot.